Hey everyone, ready to dive into something really cool.
Let's do it.
Today, we're talking generative AI, but like way more than just the headlines. We're going deep on the AWS Generative AI Accelerator to see what's actually happening at the forefront of this tech.
It's a wild world out there.
Seriously, right? Like
Uh,
when Spotify makes you a playlist based on your mood, that's generative AI in action.
it is. And the crazy thing is, this technology is still in its early stages. We're just scratching the surface of what it can do.
I know, it's kind of like, remember when smartphones first came out?
hmm
And we were all like, whoa, the internet in my pocket.
Exactly. And now look, we can't imagine life without them. That's the kind of potential we're talking about with generative AI.
Okay, so AWS is clearly betting big on that potential with this accelerator, right?
Big time. We're talking about a $230 million investment here.
Wow. Okay. That's not just dipping their toes in the water. That's like a full-on cannonball into the pool.
Pretty much. And you know what they say? Go big or go home.
So what's the message AWS is trying to send with this massive investment?
I think it's pretty clear, don't you? They're saying, we're taking generative AI very seriously, and they're putting their money where their mouth is. And you can bet that other major players in the tech world are paying attention.
Absolutely. This is not just some passing fad. It's a strategic investment in the future of technology.
Exactly. And it's a future a lot of people want to be a part of.
Yeah, I mean, just look at the numbers. Over 4,700 applications from 129 countries for this accelerator. Talk about a global phenomenon.
That's more applicants than some universities get.
Seriously. So that means what? Less than 2% actually got in?
You're right, less than 2%. To put it into perspective, you practically have better odds of winning the lottery. So we know these 80 companies are the best of the best.
Okay, so we've established that this accelerator is a big deal. But what does it actually entail for these startups? It's not like AWS just cuts them a check and says, good luck, kids.
Right. It's a way more hands-on than that.
So walk us through it. What's involved?
Well, imagine yourself as one of these lucky startups. You get whisked away to Amazon's headquarters in Seattle for 10 weeks of intensive training, mentorship, and networking.
Intense is an understatement, I bet. It's like boot camp for AI geniuses.
It's a crash course in all things generative AI. They're working with industry giants, getting access to cutting-edge technology, and really refining their ideas.
Okay, that sounds pretty intense. It sounds like something straight out of a movie montage, with everyone huddled over computers, brainstorming, and lines of code flying across the screen.
And it all culminates in a grand finale at AWS reInvent in Las Vegas.
Oh, wow. Re.invent. That's like the Super Bowl of cloud computing and AI.
Exactly. All these startups showcasing their work on a global stage. Talk about pressure.
No kidding. But pressure can be a good thing, right? It can really force you to up your game.
Absolutely. And besides the obvious bragging rights, being part of this accelerator means these startups are getting something far more valuable. Validation. They're being recognized by one of the biggest names in tech as leaders in their field.
Right. It's a stamp of approval that says, we believe in you. That's got to be huge for attracting investors and customers.
Absolutely. And speaking of investors, let's not forget about the AWS credits. These startups received some as much as $1 million. That's a game changer for any young company.
Okay, yeah, that's a lot of cloud computing power. But it's not just about the money, right? It's about access, mentorship, and being part of community.
Exactly. It's about giving these startups the tools and support they need to turn their vision into reality.
This is where it gets really interesting, right? These startups aren't just tinkering away in their garages. They're on the cusp of transforming entire industries.
And get this isn't just a Silicon Valley thing.
Right. I was amazed by how many different countries were represented.
It's a truly global wave of innovation, with 20 startups chosen from each major region.
Whoa, 20 from each. So that's Asia, Europe, Africa, Latin America, North America, all covered.
All in the mix. Asia Pacific and Japan, Europe, Middle East and Africa, Latin America, North America, you name it, they're repping it.
That's so cool, like a United Nations of cutting-edge AI.
Exactly. Each bringing their own flavor to the table. And that means they're tackling a huge range of challenges with AI.
Okay, so beyond the typical stuff like software and finance, what kind of industries are we talking about? Hit me with some curveballs.
Oh, get ready to be surprised, because we're not just optimizing algorithms here. We're talking about real-world stuff like construction.
Construction? Seriously?
Yeah.
That's about as far from Silicon Valley as you can get.
Right. But think about it. Construction projects are notorious for delays, going over budget, and safety issues. Now imagine a company using AI to tackle all of that head on.
Okay, now that you mention it, yeah, that would be huge. So how does it work? What are they actually doing?
There's this company, Akari Inc., based in Japan, and they're using AI to basically streamline every aspect of a construction project.
Streamline how? Give me the specifics.
Think optimizing designs and logistics, improving communication on site, even using AI to enhance safety protocols.
Whoa, okay, so they're not messing around. This isn't just like, let's use AI to pick prettier paint colors. This is hardcore problem solving.
Totally. And that's the thing with a lot of these startups, they're not just dipping their toes in, they're diving headfirst into using AI to completely transform their industries.
Okay, you're on a roll. Give me another example of something totally unexpected.
All right, how about AI for music?
Wait, hold up. Is this like AI composing jingles or something way deeper?
Way deeper. There's a company in the UK, Clay Vision, and they're building what they call a foundational AI model for music.
Okay, you're gonna have to break that down for me. What does that even mean?
Basically, they're teaching AI to understand and create original music, not just replicate what's already out there.
No way. So you're telling me AI could write a symphony or score a film?
Potentially, yeah.
Mm.
We could be talking about personalized soundtracks for your life, music generated in real time based on your mood. The possibilities are kind of mind-blowing.
Okay, that's seriously cool. But let's get real for a sec. What about AI being used to tackle, like, major global issues?
Now you're talking. Check this out. Unravel Carbon, a company from Singapore, is using AI to fight climate change.
All right, now that's what I'm talking about. AI for good. So how does that work?
They're building a platform that helps businesses accurately measure and manage their carbon footprint.
So, like, giving companies the tools to actually understand their environmental impact, not just guesstimate it.
Exactly. And that kind of data is key if we're serious about making sustainable choices.
Totally. Okay, these are some seriously impressive companies, and I bet there are tons more where those came from.
Oh, absolutely. But even within this amazing group, a few stand out, even for their particularly interesting solutions.
All right, you've got my attention. Tell me about a company that really blew your mind.
One that I find completely fascinating is Neural Garage, based in India. They're tackling a challenge that's been around since, well, talking pictures, dubbing movies and TV shows.
Oh yeah, we've all sat through some painfully dubbed movies. So what's their approach?
They're using AI to not just translate dialogue, but to perfectly sync lip movements, capture the emotional tone, and even get the cultural nuances right, all in real time.
No way. That sounds crazy complex. How's that even possible?
They've developed this AI that analyzes an actor's facial expressions and mouth movements and generates dubbed dialogue that matches perfectly.
Whoa. So no more watching a movie where the words in the mouth are totally off.
Exactly. This could be huge for making global cinema more accessible. No more cheesy dubbing, just authentic performances.
Okay, color me impressed. What else
Yeah.
you got?
Another one that I think has huge EE potential is PhysicsX, a company from the UK.
What's their claim to fame?
They're using AI to basically reinvent how we design complex machines.
AI designing machines.
Mhm.
Are we talking robots making robots now?
Well, not quite robots making robots, but it's definitely a glimpse into the future of engineering.
Okay, now you have to tell me more. How does this even work?
PhysicsX has created this amazing platform where they combine AI and advanced physics simulations.
Simulations like those super realistic video games, but for actual engineering projects.
Exactly. They can basically test out different designs and see how they perform under various conditions, all virtually.
Whoa, that's next level. So what kind of complex machines are we talking about here?
The sky's the limit, really. This could revolutionize industries from aerospace to renewable energy.
Okay, yeah, if they can use AI to design more efficient airplanes or more powerful wind turbines, that's a game changer. What other world-changing innovations are cooking up in this accelerator?
Get this. There's a company called Lucia Bio, based in the US, and they're using AI to accelerate the incredibly complex process of drug discovery.
Okay, now we're talking about stuff that really matters. Drug discovery is one of those things where any progress is good progress.
Right. And it can take years, sometimes decades, to bring a new drug to market.
And don't even get me started on the costs.
Exactly. So Leash Bio is leveraging AI to analyze massive data sets of biological information way faster than humans ever could.
So instead of scientists having to test thousands of different compounds, AI can help narrow down the search to the most promising candidates.
Exactly. It's like having a superpowered research assistant that can analyze mountains of data and pinpoint the most promising leads.
That's amazing. Imagine the potential this has for developing life-saving treatments for diseases that have plagued humanity for centuries.
And not just for the big diseases either. This could revolutionize personalized medicine, where treatments are tailored to your specific genetic makeup.
Okay, you've officially blown my mind. This accelerator is like a breeding ground for companies that are poised to change the world.
It truly is. But even with all this potential, there are still challenges these startups face, especially when you're talking about something as game-changing as AI.
So how do they overcome those challenges and bring their solutions to the world? What needs to happen to make this vision a reality?
Yeah, it's not always easy being a trailblazer.
Right. Like building a rocket ship in your garage, you're going to face some challenges.
Totally. And one of the big ones for generative AI is the sheer amount of data and computing power these startups need.
It's like trying to run a supercomputer off a day A battery.
Pretty much. And that stuff's not cheap. Luckily, those AWS credits are a huge help.
Right, giving them the resources to actually build and test their ideas.
Exactly. But then there's the whole market adoption hurdle. People can be, well, hesitant to embrace new tech, especially when it comes to things like safety and reliability.
Totally. Like, I love trying out new apps, but if we're talking about, say, AI designing bridges or something, I want some serious reassurance before I'm driving over that.
Exactly. So these startups need to not just tell the world how great their solutions are, they need to show it.
Prove it right, with solid evidence.
100%. They need to demonstrate that their AI-powered tools are not just cool, but reliable, scalable, and secure.
It's like they need a killer elevator pitch, but for, like, the entire tech world.
And then some. Because, let's be real, the tech giants are not just sitting on the sidelines watching all this happen.
Right, it's not like Google and Microsoft are going to be like, oh, look, cute little startups doing their thing, how nice.
Competition is fierce out there. These startups need to be strategic, agile, and really know how to stand out.
So for our listeners out there thinking, this generative AI thing is amazing, I want in, where do I put my money? What advice would you give them?
First off, love the enthusiasm. But
Yeah.
yeah, like any investment, gotta be smart about it. Don't just chase the hype.
Don't believe everything you read on Twitter, basically.
Haha, exactly. Look beyond the buzzwords, do your research, and really focus on the fundamentals.
So what should people be looking for? What separates a flash-in-the-pan startup from one that's actually going to make a difference?
Well, for starters, watch out for companies that overpromise and underdeliver.
Easier said than done sometimes. Everyone's got a good story.
True, but actions speak louder, right? Look for companies with a clear roadmap, realistic goals, and a track record of actually getting things done.
So experience matters. It's like, I wouldn't trust someone who's never held a hammer to build my house.
Exactly. And speaking of building, look at the team behind the tech. Do they have the right expertise? Do they understand the problem they're trying to solve?
So a solid foundation is key, both literally and figuratively. What else?
Don't underestimate the importance of market fit. It's one thing to have a cool technology, it's another one to solve a problem people are willing to pay for.
Right, you could invent the world's best potato peeler, but if nobody buys it, what's the point?
Exactly. Look for companies that understand their target audience and have a solid business model.
So it's not just about the tech itself, but the whole package.
Exactly. It's about having the vision, the talent, and the strategy to make it all happen.
Well said. Any final words of wisdom for our listeners before we wrap up this deep dive into the world of generative AI?
It's an exciting time to be paying attention to this space. Do your research, ask tough questions, and don't be afraid to think big. We're on the cusp of something truly transformative.
Absolutely. This has been an incredible journey, and it's inspiring to see so much innovation happening all over the world. For our listeners who want to learn more about the companies we talked about today, be sure to check out the AWS Startups 2024 cohort page. It's a treasure trove of information. That's it for today's deep dive. We hope you enjoyed exploring the world of generative AI with us. Until next time, keep learning, keep asking questions, and most importantly, keep dreaming big.